Far above on A deck, second-class passenger Lawrence Beasley noticed a curious thing. As he started below to check his cabin, he felt certain the stairs weren't quite right. They seemed level, and yet his feet didn't fall where they should. Somehow they strayed forward off balance, as though the steps were tilted down towards the bow. Major Puchin noticed it too. As he stood with Mr. Hayes at the forward end of A deck, looking down at the steerage passengers playing soccer with the loose ice, he sensed a very slight tilt in the deck. "Why, she is listing," he cried to Hayes. "She should not do that. The water is perfectly calm and the boat has stopped." "Well, I don't know," Mr. Hayes replied placidly. "You cannot sink this boat." Others also felt the downward slant, but it seemed tactless to mention the matter. In boiler room number 5, Fireman Barrett decided to say nothing to the engineers working on the pumps. Far above, in the A-deck foyer, Colonel Gracie and Clinch Smith had the same reaction. On the bridge, the communicator showed the Titanic slightly down at the head and listing 5 degrees to starboard. Nearby, Thomas Andrews and Captain Smith did some fast figuring. Water in the forepeak, number 1 hold, number 2 hold, mail room, boiler room number 6, boiler room number 5. Water 14 feet above keel level in the first 10 minutes, everywhere except boiler room number 5. Put together, the facts showed a 300-foot gash with the first 5 compartments hopelessly flooded. What did this mean? Andrews quietly explained. The Titanic could float with any 2 of her 16 watertight compartments flooded. She could float with any 3 of her first 5 compartments flooded. She could even float with all of her first 4 compartments gone. But no matter how they sliced it, she could not float with all of her first 5 compartments full. The bulkhead between the 5th and the 6th compartments went only as high as E-deck. If the first 5 compartments were flooded, the bow would sink so low that water in the 5th compartment must overflow into the 6th. When this was full, it would overflow into the 7th, and so on. It was a mathematical certainty, pure and simple. There was no way out. But it was still a shock. After all, the Titanic was considered unsinkable, and not just in the travel brochures. The highly technical magazine Shipbuilder described her compartment system in a special edition in 1911, pointing out that Captain may, by simply moving an electric switch, instantly close the doors throughout and make the vessel practically unsinkable. Now, all the switches were pulled, and Andrews said it made no difference. It was hard to face, and especially hard for Captain Smith, over 59 years old. He was retiring after this trip. Might even have done it sooner, but he traditionally took the White Star ships on their maiden voyages. Only 6 years before, when he brought over the brand new Adriatic, he remarked, "I cannot imagine any condition which would cause a ship to founder. I cannot conceive of any vital disaster happening to this vessel. Modern shipbuilding has gone beyond that." Now he stood on the bridge of a liner twice as big, twice as safe, and the builder told him it couldn't float. At 12:05 a.m., 25 minutes after that bumping, grinding jar, Captain Smith ordered Chief Officer Wild to uncover the boats. First Officer Murdoch to muster the passengers. 6th Officer Moody to get out the list of boat assignments. 4th Officer Boxall to wake up 2nd Officer Lightoller and 3rd Officer Pittman. The captain himself then walked about 20 yards down the port side of the boat deck to the wireless shack.